Hello, hello. Good morning, everybody, on this sunny blue sky day. Just on a little adventure to work with a client on a new laptop, and I had some new awareness show up yesterday. So I don't know how much I've talked about in my past, but in the apartment building I'm in, I have neighbors that I have to call it now test me. It drove me nuts for a while. But the one neighbor partied till all hours of the night, didn't really give a flying frick about anybody, and I ended up standing in my power and reporting him to the landlord, and things are happening. But sorry, traffic's a little crazy. So that improved. That has stopped, and hopefully it's done for good. The other people are above me, and they're the most unconscious people I've ever heard. They drop stuff on the floor all the time. They're stomping their feet, and it's quite annoying. So I sat for a long time, and I felt bad about it, and I sat in a hole, and I kind of suffered with it, and other things, and finally I got up the courage to go upstairs. They have a chair that they pull across the floor, and it goes all the time. So I took some of those felt pads, and I went up and I knocked on their door, and a young lady stuck her head out, and I said, "Hey, I'm your neighbor, and I live downstairs from you, and when you pull your chairs on the floor, it gets quite loud, and it can be disruptive. I hear it many, many times a day." And I said, "Here you go. I'd like to give you this gift if you consider putting them on your chairs." Just a, kind of an offering, and trying to be polite, and kind of explain my situation. And if they're walking loud and they can hear it loud, I can hear it as well. And my pictures are shaking on the wall and rattling. And she responded. She said sorry and didn't want to take the stuff or whatever. And I did everything from love. I just sat there and I tried to respect them. And I said, "Hey, if I didn't mention this, you wouldn't know. And I just want to be a good neighbor. And please come and talk to me if I'm ever too loud as well." Well, this morning it got even louder. So I don't know. I offended them in some way. But it's my right to have a place where I can live. And then I started asking Spirit what lesson was in this for me. And if we start to stop being a victim, which I was, and I fully admit that, and it happens all the time, and I learn from it every day. But I said, what is this trying to teach me? And it kind of hit me like a ton of bricks. It was just like, okay, this is trying to teach me about self-respect and honoring myself, and all this kind of stuff. I got this like massive download of all this crap that, and maybe this resonates with you, but I would just sit there and be mad and feel small and do everything possible to respect them even more while disrespecting myself. And I think we do a lot of that nowadays, and it's something that we as light workers have to just be aware of. I think we self-deprecate. I don't know if you know what that word means, but kind of shoot ourselves down and stay small to try and set an example for other people. But we end up getting stepped on a lot. And I'm sure that's what's playing out now. So I'm sitting inside of myself and looking and saying, okay, because I sat back and I listened, and it's like, oh, my TV's too loud, so I'll turn it down, to the point sometimes I couldn't even hear my TV or the audio, just to respect people. And remember, I've got tenants on all four sides. I got people above me, below me, and on either side. So I'm trying to be respectful to everyone, but it's like an implied respect. It's not an agreed respect. And there's a certain level of respect that comes with your lease agreement or whatever, quiet times and all this kind of stuff, which is really easy. But where do you self-respect yourself? And when do you kind of shoot yourself down, try and set an example, which is what I was trying to do, but without them even being consciously aware. And it shifted things, because the example no longer was me being quiet and trying to respect them, hoping they'd respect me back. No, it shifted to an energetic, I needed to have a conversation with them. I needed to explain to them that it's loud, and the choice that they might be louder afterwards is either one of twofold. Either they're just petty and they don't like their stuff being shown, that they're being loud, or I needed to make this understanding. So it'll be interesting to go back in the next couple days and just see how things shift with this new awareness, because my energy deserves to be respected. My home is my place, and the fact that I'm in a combined place with other people means that we all have to be aware and accountable to our actions. And how do you do that? Well, you have conscious communication with people. You say it out loud. You put it into the universe that it's happening. Don't ignore it. Don't hope they're going to figure it out by not saying it. Be conscious about it. Speak. And that's what's happening now. An opening is happening, and that respect will come naturally. I can sit here and go to war, and I can slam the doors and do shit like, fuck, I can annoy the shit out of people with the technology stuff I know. And a part of me is like, I'm going to stand in my power. But I'm choosing to stand in my power a different way. It's like we share a space. We all agree to share that space, and by consciously communicating, it will be spoken into the universe, into the reality, and nobody can be unconscious about things now. And their energy, if it's a little pissed off or whatever, is gonna go back to universal law and other things. If they're a non-player character, they were there to poke it out for me. If there's something else, I did it with love. I didn't go there and say, you effers, shut the F up, stop that. In the past, that's probably what most people would do. And then it would create this fear and anger and all this kind of stuff, but I'm shining love into it. I want to be respected, but I can only be respected when I very clearly state when my privacy, my noise respect, etc. is violated. And now they know, and it probably felt a little uncomfortable. It felt a little weird, because when you have conscious communication with people for the first time, it can be a little bit scratchy. I don't know how else to describe it, but it just feels like you're being, I wouldn't say attacked, but you're being held accountable. And it's kind of like grabbing a person by the shirt collar and saying, okay, we're talking here, and just getting their full presence and attention, but not from, oh, fuck, we've screwed each other up or whatever, or I'm using violence or whatever to do it. We're doing it by directness and consciousness and vulnerability and looking into people's eyes and that kind of stuff, and it's massive. So what I ask you is, where do you not respect yourself? Where, and the other party doesn't even know. And sometimes this works, and if it's not really key, but this is a freaking collective one as far as I'm concerned. It's nasty and it's uncomfortable, but I was disrespecting myself by giving them that power. Why would I shut down? Why would I be quiet? Why would I do all these things when they're not doing it back? So if push comes to shove in future, I will turn up my TV, and I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to give them respect when they're not giving respect back, and a balance is going to come. And I'm not going to need to be taught anything anymore. I'm not going to need to have these lessons, this gratingness going up against my energy all the time. So you probably got some areas where you don't respect yourself, where your boss is doing stuff, or your kids are doing stuff, or whatever, and you're quietly hoping that they're going to figure it out while you're respecting the shit out of them, where really all they're going to recognize and respect is when you mirror back what they're giving to you. So it's going to be interesting. I'll let you know how it turns out, but it's maddening to have to go look and be the bigger man, the bigger person all the time. I prefer it, but fuck, I'm undoing every bit of programming I've ever had as a human being. So I love you all. Take a listen. Thank you, Leanie, for what you posted there. Have a great day. See you soon. Bye.